Now let us begin by installing a Linux distribution using the Windows Subsystem for Linux method. First, I'll go to from my desktop, I search for my command prompts or terminal on some devices. I open up my terminal or my command line interface, and I try to check first if there is any distribution already installed. If I have any distribution installed on my computer before, I have to check for that first. So I will do that by looking for WSL. Remember what WSL stands for? Windows Subsystem for Linux. And I will ask this to list any distribution that is available, and now it returns to me that Windows Subsystem for Linux has no installed distributions. Remember what we call distributions? We said they are the structure of the Linux operating system, and examples are Ubuntu, Fedora, Kali Linux, and several others. Now for this class, we will be focused on installing Ubuntu distribution. Now, but we don't have any distribution installed as the command line here is telling us. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this. Remember, now it's telling us that no installed distributions. By the time we are done, there will be this message would no longer appear. But what you will see rather is the name of the distribution that we have installed. So now I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to search for something else. I'll call it the Windows features. Windows features. Yes, turn on Windows features. It's right over here. Turn window features on or off. And I'm going to click on this. It's in the control panel section of your computer. And I'm going to, sorry, everything is looking big. I had to just enlarge everything so it's going to be easy for you to follow all of this. Now I'm going to look for Windows Subsystem for Linux. Windows Subsystem for Linux. Yes, it's here. Now you can see it's unchecked. I have to check it. And then I will also look for virtual machine platform. Yes, over here. Virtual machine platform. I would also check this. And I'll click on OK. And it's going to ask me to restart my computer to effect the change and let it, yeah, it's going to give me that message now. Now the reason why you are enabling this is because Windows has an inbuilt function for Linux already, but it is not automatically enabled whenever you get your computer. It is only enabled when you want. You can enable it and you can also disable it. So it's already applying changes. Then it's going to ask if we want to restart the computer. Okay. All right. So it's done. So we can see that it says Windows completed the requested changes and Windows needs to reboot your PC to finish installing the requested changes. Now it's asking us to restart now or don't restart. I would click on don't restart now, and you could actually do the same and restart your system after every other step has been done. So I will click on don't restart now, and yes, I've enabled the WSL on my system. But let's still check. Does that mean the distribution has been installed? Let's still check. No, I'm still getting the same error that Windows Subsystem for Linux has no installed distribution. So what exactly is this distribution? How exactly do we get this distribution? We have enabled the WSL on our PC, and we have also enabled the virtual machine platform. The next thing to do is go on to Microsoft Store, your Microsoft Store, and you download the Linux distribution that you want. In this case, we are going to be working with Ubuntu, and it is important for you to have tried several versions of Ubuntu and have come to realize that this version, and is even the most recommended also by professionals. The version that I'll be showing you, I'll just search for Ubuntu. It's loading up. So I'll search for Ubuntu. Yes, Ubuntu. Yeah, so it brings up a list of several Ubuntu's. You can see several. Aside from Ubuntu, it also gave us some other distributions that we may want to use. It gives us Penguin, gives us, okay, this X server. We'll get to X server very soon. X server is actually a GUI software, a GUI Linux software that you use for visualization in Linux, and you would need it for Windows. As you can see, this is X server for Windows to visualize things on Windows that work only on Linux. You need an X server. You can also see open in WSL, but our main focus here is Ubuntu, because the Ubuntu is the distribution we are concerned with here. Now we can see there is this Ubuntu here. We have this Ubuntu 24.04.1 LTS, Ubuntu 22.04.05 LTS. Now this right here is the Ubuntu distribution we are interested in. This right here is the version of Ubuntu, of the Linux. Whenever I mention Ubuntu, remember it's referring to a Linux distribution. Now we can see also that there's a version of 18.04.6, 20.04.6, but right here is the 22.04.5 LTS, and this is the one I will be recommending for you to install. Now I have it installed already. The Ubuntu 22.04.5 LTS Linux distribution. I installed it already before recording the video so as to save time. And I'm just going to open this up, and it's going to open a terminal. Yeah, it's giving me the alert that the terminal is open. I would open this terminal now, and it's giving me a prompt that installing. This may take few minutes, but gives me an error in the next few lines that WSL register distribution failed with error this, and the operation could not be started because a required feature is not installed. What other feature could be required? Well, no other feature is required. The only feature required are the two features we checked already in the beginning, the WSL and the virtual machine platform that we also enabled. Now the problem why we are getting this error is because we have not restarted our PC yet for the changes to take effect. So now I'm going to restart my computer and show you the results after that. All right, I have restarted my system, and now let us open up the Ubuntu 22.04.5 LTS that we installed from our Microsoft Store. So I'll search Ubuntu. Yes, right here, the Ubuntu 22. Remember, it gave us an error that there were certain features that it could not find. But let's see if it's still going to give us the same thing even after restarting our PC. Okay, it's opening up. It's taking a while. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, it did already. Now you can see it's installing. This may take a few minutes. You can see it did not return back the error of WSL distribution error about anything, but it's rather what it's installing. So it's going to take a few minutes to install, and once it's done, your Linux distribution is ready for use. Trust me. So we'll just give it a few more minutes. A few more minutes. So while we wait for it to install, I would like you to note that this method makes sure that your computer is not overstressed in terms of the memory capacity. You are not distributing your RAM to any virtual machine like we'll be doing in the next method, and it's quite lightweight. It's more lightweight than any other method. The only problem with this is that it does not come with the usual interface of Ubuntu. It does not come with the desktop background and all. So now we can see it's giving us a prompt that please create a default Unix user account. The username does not need to. All right. So we have to enter a new Unix username. Now what this is telling us is yes, you are already in. I have accepted you as Windows is telling us now that I have accepted Linux as a member of my family, and I can allow him live within me. So we'll put in a username. I'll put in FUNDI. Now you must note something that your usernames must contain just lowercase letters and numbers. You must not have any uppercase. If you put an uppercase letter, let's say I use FUNDI, you'll see it will give an error. It's going to return an error. Okay. Remember, you must be connected to the internet to do all of this. So the faster your internet, the faster this would go. So you can see the error it gave. Add user, please enter a username matching the regular expression configured. So it's saying this name rejects system. It has a specific set of input it can take, and uppercase letters is not one of it. So I'll just be using my lowercase, and I have this. So now I would not be getting any error. Instead, it will be asking me for my password, to impute a password, to create a password next. So yeah, so it's asking me to create a new password, and I'll create a new password. I am typing. When you type on Linux, when you type passwords on Linux, don't be worried. It won't print out anything. So I'll just click on enter. You just type. Okay, yeah. So password updated successfully. So installation is successful. Now, congratulations, you have Linux installed on your Windows. Now you can see it's giving me this. Welcome to Ubuntu 22.04. Yes, thank you very much. I feel very much welcome. So it's giving me all of this, and it's also giving me, okay, before I continue, I would ask my Windows command prompt if it recognizes anything. So I opened up my PowerShell, or you could open up your command prompt. Also, I think we started with command prompt, so let me just open up the command prompt instead. Now, when I type in the WSL -list, initially it gave the message that this Windows subsystem for Linux has no distribution, but when I click enter now, you can see Windows subsystem for Linux distribution Ubuntu 22.04, and it is the what? It is the default. So now we have completed the steps to install Linux on our Windows using WSL. So I can clear all of this, and I can use Linux commands. I can change directories. I can ask for my current working directory, and all of this command prompts I'm going to put you through in future videos. So yes, we are done with installing Linux on my Windows using WSL. So let's move on to the next one, which is installing using a virtual machine. A virtual machine is an app on your computer, on your desktop computer, that allows you run several other kinds of operating system, be it Mac OS, be it another Windows. You could even run a Windows 7 or a Windows XP